Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video I'll show you what happens when you stop the virtual machine in the Azure portal and the difference between deallocated and stop state. So I have logged into the Azure portal. Let me go into the virtual machine and open the VM OS ticket. So here we have the option to stop the VM, restart and start the VM. Let me log into my VM. So here we have OS disk and temporary storage. So now I'm going to save a file in both disks and we will see what happens when we stop the VM. Let me open my C drive. I am going to create a folder and place a text document. Okay, next I'm copying the same directory to the temporary storage disk. Okay, so when we stop the virtual machine in the Azure portal, it will be deallocated, which means that the virtual machine will be deallocated from the physical server and all the data stored in the temporary storage will be lost forever, and the data which is stored in the OS disk will be stored and saved, still available. So let me go back to my Azure portal and stop my virtual machine. Once the virtual machine is stopped and deallocated, we will then start it again and log into the VM and see the status. I just started the VM and the status is running. Let me just log in and open File Explorer and go into the temporary storage. And here we can see that the folder we just created is no longer in the temporary storage. Which means that once we stopped and deallocated, whatever data that is stored on the temporary storage will be lost forever. And if I go to the OS disk, we can see that the folder is still there. So next I'm going to create a file and the folder in the temporary storage. So let me create a folder and then a document inside the folder. So now I'm going to initiate a shutdown inside the VM. So there is a shutdown option inside the virtual machine, and once we use this option, the VM will not be deallocated from the physical server, unlike when we shut down from the Azure portal, which will cause it to be deallocated from the physical server. So now let's check the difference between the shutdown from the OS and from the portal. I have shut down the VM, and let's see the status in the Azure portal. And so here we can see the status as stopped, and at the top of my panel you can see that there is a stop button available, which means the VM is not deallocated. Okay, I am going to start the VM again and see whether we lost the data or not, since we initiated the shutdown from the OS level. The data which is stored on the temporary storage will be there and it won't be removed. Okay, the virtual machine has started. Let me RTP into it. I'm going to open my file explorer and go to this PC and open the temporary storage, and now we can see that the data is still in the temporary storage. So ideally for any application related data, it is important to use the data disk instead of using the temporary storage, and also restarting the VM from the OS level will not affect anything, so the data which is stored in the temporary storage would still be available in the temporary storage, and it will only be lost once we stop the VM from the Azure portal. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next. Thank you.